Hello, Scorpio. Thank you for tuning into your love read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Tarot. I believe the H is silent. Still haven't gone to the website. Someday soon, hopefully. That's the other side of the box. Oh, and it's by Renata Lechner, in case you want the deck. That's how that's spelled. Alright, hopefully the glare wasn't in your way. And the supportive oracle cards are the Magical Spell cards by Lucy Cavendish. There we go. Alright. I already shuffled. Relationship first half, single second half. Let's see what we got. Alright. You got the King of Cups going on there, so it's, well, this is, so you got the Knight of Cups at the bottom too. It was kind of like slipping around there. So you got the Knight of Cups here too. Love is here. I don't know if you'd be questioning that anyway, but no, this seems to go over here. Alright, alright, alright. So I'm starting with your partner. And I feel like what's going on is your partner seems to be having a lot of dreams. There's a lot of dreamy energy going on here. A lot of thoughts, but it seems like they're not really focused. It seems like they're living in the land of like how things could be. Rather than actually pulling that into reality, they're kind of in the spot of like how things could be. And what I'm getting from you, your matching energy here is the Hanged Man. They have their head in the clouds, to be fair, and you're just kind of watching them, and like it's okay to fantasize, it's okay to have aspirations, but if you're just gonna sit there and daydream about it, like what's the point? Are you gonna make something happen with this thought, or are you just gonna like hope that I do? Because I feel like there's a little bit of aggravation on your side in the sense of like, are you gonna make something happen, or are you just saying this because you're hoping I do? That's how it's coming across. Now, so you got like there's like a little court system going on here, and you have one court card, and that's the King of Cups in your challenge position. And I'm getting it seems like more of an advisor, a loving advisor, just kind of bringing in a bit of reality to the situation. I feel like this is your challenge card seems to be more actually like, all right, I see you're going through this thought. It seems like you like it. I highly recommend that you decide if you really want it or not. And if you start taking steps to make it happen, I'll support you and I'll even help you. But you need to make it happen. If you make it happen, I'll help you. I'll support you in that and I'll help you. But you need to make it happen. Is that right? All right. Now on their side, the other person, I'm seeing two cards, like one is where they're standing, the other is the spiritual position. They're standing with the Page of Swords. Not usually the most empowering card, usually more of a receptive, absorbing information, relaying information sometimes. But I don't really, it's not, to me it's not like a powerful communicator in the sense of like, I have ideas, this is what I think. It's more of like receiving information, pulling it in, sometimes mulling it over and thinking it out, but still it's not really an activator, it's more of a receiver. The spiritual card of the Queen of Swords, I'm getting that card is showing up on their side for the purpose of them to like, they really need to, I feel like they're figuring it out, quite frankly. They're trying to see, is this just a good thought, or is this something they want to make happen? but they seem to be more of, they're standing in more of a passive stance. It's almost like they want to inspire you and see if you go anywhere with it. And they're trying to understand how you feel about it to decide how they feel about it. That seems interesting. Really? Wait. So, I feel like they're talking, they're explaining things to you, and they want to see how inspired or excited you are about it. And you're just kind of like, well, that's fine. I think it's okay. If you want to do that, start it. I'll help you, but I'm not starting it. You have to take control and start it. If you want it, you make it happen. I'll support you. I'll even help. Not a problem. Not a problem. But I'm not creating this for you. I'm getting that. Like, this seems like a weird thing going on here. Like, I feel like your partner seems more passive here, and I don't like how it feels. It doesn't feel like they're really invested. It doesn't feel empowered. It feels more like taking a six-sided dice. Is it six-sided, not Marsley? And just kind of like, just, let's see what happens. That's how it feels. Instead of like saying, all right, I want number one, and putting it down and then making it happen, they're just kind of, well, let's see if it lands on one. Odds are not in their favor for that. That feels weird to me. All right, that's what they want to say. Okay, now, I do feel this, you're pushing back. That seems very important. Your side is stronger here. But, I mean, Scorpio is strong anyway, clearly, but in my opinion, it's clear. Anyway, excuse me. Your next card is the High Priestess with the Harvest. I'm kind of getting, this situation is moving on. And I'm getting that's your harvest. You handled it quite well. You weren't feeling it like your partner was, not really. And you didn't really want it anyway. And you're just kind of like, you know what, if you want it, I'll help you, but I'm not starting it. And they feel like they let it fall through the cracks. They didn't move on it. And you're just like, that's fine. Like, High Priestess is saying, you know what, that's fine. I would have helped, but I'm not going to make things happen like that. And I feel like the High Priestess is like, I did what I needed to do. I feel like you're kind of a little disjointed about it, because you're kind of like, I feel like you're just kind of a little bit annoyed. Like, you know, why didn't they just make it happen? Why did they just talk about it for a while or ad nauseum, and then they just didn't do anything about it? Like, I feel like you're a little aggravated with that, but part of you is kind of like, you know what, I didn't really want it to happen anyway, so it's just kind of weird that they talked about it for so long and then nothing happened from it. So it was kind of like a little bit of an aggravation, but you're like, I didn't really want it to happen anyway. So that's your harvest. I feel like that's your harvest. You're like, I didn't really want it to happen anyway. Now your partner has the Strength card. I'm getting like they have to kind of own that this didn't go anywhere because they didn't make it go anywhere. And I feel like they are owning that. But I also feel like this is setting things up in the future. Like, if they really want something, they got to take those first steps. Definitely talk about it with you. Make sure you're okay with it, but they have to be the one to start and get it going and keep it together. I don't feel like you have any problem supporting your partner. I don't feel like there's any problem with that at all. But I feel like you're making a very strong point here, like, if you want this stuff to happen, you got to own it. You got to make it happen. And then I will help you, but I'm not doing it for you. And spiritually, I'm getting, like, from this situation itself, you're just detaching and bye. You're just flying right away from it, as you should, in my opinion. Because you weren't really invested in it, you didn't really want it anyway, and they didn't seem to want to make it happen, so I feel like you're just moving on from it. Like, that was a conversation that didn't happen, and goodbye. And you're just moving on from this conversation. I'm also noticing, though, where you're standing is the Hermit card. Because I feel like you're really thinking about, like, what is going on here? Like, I feel like you're really trying to understand, like, why are they doing that? you're really putting a lot of thought into, like, why do they push so much information towards me, but then they don't make it happen? Like, are they really expecting me to do things for them on their whim? Like, do they expect me to make them happy? Like, instead of them going forward and making something happen, they want to just tell me about it and then I make it happen for them, like a short order cook? It's not going to happen. Because I feel like that's kind of where you're at. Like, you're trying to understand, like, why did they go through all that hubbub to explain what they were thinking and then didn't do anything with it? And you're like, if they're trying to do it to where they explain it to me and then I make it happen for them, I'm not on board with that. I'm not on board with that. But they are reminding here, the Knight of Cups is here. Like, there is love here. There definitely is love here. And I'm getting, like, to keep it in that realm. Because they might have a little bit of warped view there about what they want to happen there, or how they expect something to happen. But the love is honestly there, is what I'm feeling. It's just the way they're handling the situation, it doesn't seem like it's the best. And their challenge card is the Tower card. Because I feel like they are kind of shocked that this doesn't go forward. Which is interesting. I feel like they really thought you would just make it happen for them. It really comes through that way. Because I'm kind of in disbelief. Like, really? But that's how it feels. That really is how it feels. Like, I feel like the Tower card is their challenge card. And I also feel like the reason the Tower card is explaining it is because this is their wake-up call. Which is with that Strength card too. Like, you know, if you want things to happen, don't just talk about it. Do something to make it happen. And then the Scorpio, will support, will help, but will not lead the way for you. If you want it to happen, you explain it, make sure that the Scorpio, is on the same page, but then they need to make it happen, and then it'll go well from there. This is very good. I feel like this is really good because it seems to be a wake-up call for your partner. I don't know how long you've been with your partner, because I feel like for some of you, you're just like, yeah, well, this seems to go on quite often. Or something about this, like, I don't know. I feel like some of you might be looking at this like, well, this isn't new. So I'm feeling, though, if this is significant enough, like if they really do feel let down by it because they wanted it to happen, they really thought you were going to do it for them, this is significant because it's falling through the cracks, and they did want it, but they're getting that sharp lesson, like, you really want it that bad, you need to make it happen yourself. And that's why it's different, maybe. Like, if this is a repetitive pattern, this is why this one significantly changes things, because I feel like they are kind of let down. Now, what makes things better for them is they need... See, I'm getting the Five of Swords for them, plus the Two of Cups. Like, the love for you, the love is there. They know you love them. And they love you. Like, there's no question there. But I'm getting the Five of Swords. That, to me, is like... I feel like they're looking at it like this is a fair outcome. They didn't win anything. They didn't really win anything, but it's a fair outcome for how they handled it. And I feel like that's what's making it better for them, because they know the love is there. They love you. You love them. That's not a question. But they're also realizing this is a fair outcome. They didn't win anything. They didn't win what they wanted, but it's fair what they got. And that's making a big difference, because it is fair, in my opinion, the way I'm seeing it. And I'm getting, like... They got this friendship card here right on top of it. Because I don't feel like they just love you. I feel like they very much like value the friendship part of the romance, the relationship. It's kind of like there is romance, there is love, but there's also a friendship that accompanies it. Like, you know, there's a lot of relationships out there where there's a lot of passion and love, but when it comes right down to without that, like, these people probably wouldn't get along and wouldn't be friends normally. The passion keeps them together, the romance keeps them together, the love keeps them together, but without that, they wouldn't really be friends. But in this situation, I feel like, you know, there's a romance level and there's a friendship level, and it's kind of intertwined with you and your partner. Like, they like you. Like, even if it wasn't a romantic relationship, they would still like you. They'd still like to be around you. They'd still like to be a part of your energy. If that makes sense. It's like it's not just like you're not just the lover. You're not just. It's not just about the passion and romance, because that is definitely there. But there's also a friendship feeling on their side towards you, and I feel like it's another reason why they're looking at this like this is fair. Like, that wasn't really right for them to do, but it was something they needed to learn. Like, it needed to be highlighted. And I'm getting that friendship, like they're realizing like that wasn't really the best way to handle it. And it worked out fairly. Good? Is there anything I missed here? Because I'm looking at my card. I'm asking you like you're going to answer me. I talked about the swords. I talked about this. I knew there was something. This is the only thing I missed. I knew I missed something. What makes things better for you is the Eight of Wands and the energy. I don't know if I showed this card either. This is one other card I may not have shown. The Three of Wands in your spiritual sense, but I feel like that's you saying, bye, moving on from it. I don't know. I think I said that. I don't know if I showed this, but I saw it, and I read from it, but I don't know if I showed it to you. And this is also what makes things better. Again, the Eight of Wands with the energy. You're still happy, still going along, still have all the energy that you need to do what you got to do. Your passion, the energy is going towards your partner, I'm saying. Like, your passion towards your partner is not daunted or changed in any sense, in my opinion. I don't feel anything changed there. And the Eight of Wands is telling me what makes things better for you is just to let it be. It is what it is, just moving on. And I don't feel like that's hard for you, especially if you realize that they're realizing that this worked out fairly. Because it seems like they're getting the point. Like, if they really want something, they need to start making it happen themselves. If they're not willing to do that, then, they're rolling the dice, and then they deserve what they get. Anything else? I feel like they're telling me to wrap it up. They were actually telling me to wrap it up before that, but I guess I wanted to make sure I touched on the cards, just in case you saw something come out and you're wondering why I didn't say something about it. All right, let's go into Scorpio single. Scorpio single. Messages for Scorpio single. Alright, messages for single Scorpios. Empowering information to help them see what's actually happening and help them move forward in a direction that they want to go. Alright, they're telling me to put it out, so we're just going to put it out. Okay. Single Scorpio. Was it Cancer? I think this is reminding me of the Cancer read a little bit. Not as in like the component to it, but more, well, maybe. It starts off really well, but there's some questionable cards around it. So we'll find out in a second. Alright, so the center card, center two cards, the Sun card plus the Six of Cups. Now for you, man, this is different. Yours is definitely different. For you, what I'm feeling is the Sun card is telling me you found what you want. The Six of Cups, though, well, it's usually a history card. In this case, I feel like you're thinking about how this could work out. I feel like this is more in thought. I feel like you see who you want. You have feelings for somebody. But the Six of Cups, it doesn't make me feel like anything's actually happening. You might be looking at like similar connections in the past. You might be like trying to find out more about their history. I'm not getting like anything happening. I'm getting you're acknowledging it. I'm getting you're thinking about it. The Six of Cups seems to be connecting in some type of nostalgia way, but I don't really know if it's even connecting directly with the person you're finding, because I feel like you're almost thinking about somebody from the past, and I feel like you're thinking it would be nice to rekindle something from the past. Because I feel like you know what you want, but I don't see anything happening here. I feel like you're very excited, you're very happy about it, you kind of might be looking at things. Like, for example, some people, like, you'll go on somebody's Facebook just to see their pictures, see their posts. I can see some of that happening, but I don't see, like, anything, I don't feel communication or anything like that. I do see at the top here the Page of Swords, which is more of a passive card, just trying to see if anything comes your way, see if there's anything to read between the lines here, but I'm still not feeling an offense, a forward action, a going out and explaining how you feel, going out and getting what you want energy. But ironically, was this the last one I just did? I'm getting confused when I last saw these two together, but I saw these two together. Was it in your partners? I think it was. It was in the first half of this reading, actually, because I'm just like, wait a minute, I just saw these two together. But I feel like it's kind of interesting because when I'm seeing her, you're trying to make sure that you're seeing things correctly. You're trying to scrutinize, like, wait a minute. Because I feel like you're having nostalgic feelings. I really do. Like, somebody you're looking at and you're like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Like, if it's somebody you've been with before, you're just like, why do I think that would be any different this time around? Or if it's somebody that reminds you for somebody you've been with before, which could be a very strong possibility, you're just like, oh, well, somebody similar I was with was a lot like this one, and that didn't work out. So why would I even consider this? Like, maybe because I'm not feeling you take action here. I'm not feeling you take that action at all. And I'm seeing the nostalgia feeling again, and I'm seeing the strength card in the past. Like, you've overcome challenges before, and there's something about this person, even though you like them, you are addressing a challenge that you feel with them that has something connected with your past, like almost like you're looking at it like, I've overcome that once, and this person reminds me of that. Unless this is actually literally a person from your past, and you're just like, I overcame that once, I don't know if I really want to do that again. And I feel like part of the problem here is I'm noticing the Page of Wands in the environment. The Page of Wands is an active card, gets things done and does keep moving, but seems to move more on autopilot. It's like the pages, all the pages to me are more of a passive energy. And this one, even though it's very active and keeps things going, it's more reactive. It's more like if you walk into a room and you see like a bowl of fruit was knocked all over the place, this person would just see it and just automatically pick up the bowl and the fruit. Or for example, if like, they left a book half read, they notice the book and they're like, you know what, might as well read the rest of it. So they just pick it up and it's like autopilot. They just kind of like, something needs to be done, like, oh, we're out of bread. Well, I'll just go. They just automatically go and get it. There's not a lot of thought about it. It's just like a reaction to it. And I'm getting like, this is the energy you're dealing with. And I feel like you're seeing this. It's like, it's not intentional. It's active. But it's just reacting to whatever's around them. Excuse me. And I'm getting that happens a lot with this person. They just seem to be reacting and getting things done. They're very active, but it's reaction. It feels more reaction than anything else. It doesn't feel like they're going towards something, and especially not going towards you, but they are reacting to you in a positive way. And I feel like this is another reason you're just kind of like, Now, your thoughts are the Four of Swords. You are thinking it over, but you're also not communicating. You're not communicating, and you're thinking that's a better idea right now. And your stance here is the Eight of Pentacles, which in this, like typically, like the Eight of Pentacles is just getting ready to finish something up, getting ready to finish things off type thing. But I feel like for you, the Eight of Pentacles is like looking at everything you've accomplished this far, and you're like, does this really fit? Does this person really fit with my life? I have so much I've done. I've gotten so far, Is that... Is there something else? What else do we want to say about this? It's more centered around her. You've worked for a lot. I feel like you've worked for a lot. I don't feel you're you're standing in a spot that doesn't seem to fit with me, in the sense of like, I feel like you're looking at this and you're not at that stage where you want it to go forward. And you're just not thinking this person fits. And I'm just trying to understand what they're trying to say with this card. Because you're standing in a spot with kind of like, do I want to do anything with this, or do I just want to move on from it? And you're almost at the spot where you're like, either I'm going to go forward or I'm going to go on. One of the two. Because I feel like you're almost about that point where you're like, I'm either going to leave it alone or I'm going to do something, but I'm not going to think about it much longer because it's just kind of, it's not worth it if I'm just going to think about it. Now, I'm getting, as you go forward, because you seem to be watching this person and not communicating with how you're feeling. And I'm getting the Ten of Wands with the imagination. I'm just like, I feel like you're building this up in your head like this person is just more challenged than anything else. I feel like you're really building that up. Like, oh, this person's just more of a challenge. I don't think I want that. And I do feel you seem to be getting more and more behind that thought. And you get to a point where you decide that you, not only do you not want to move forward with this person, but you want to distance yourself from this person as much as you can. And I'm getting like, there seems to be some type of problem in the future with this Tower card. I'm getting, there's like, I'm getting it, you're upset with this person. And I'm getting it comes across, like, I feel like you're building things up here. You're seeing them more as a burden than anything else, but you're still having those feelings. Something seems to amp up, and I'm getting you kind of get upset with this person. And I'm getting this kind of happens, and I'm getting you let this person know what you think of them. I don't know why it's happening. It seems a little out of place. Because it's weird. I don't know what happens. I don't feel like anything actually happens, to be honest with you. But I feel like just the moment comes, you have a lot of emotion behind the thing, and you just tell this person exactly what you're thinking. And I feel like you kind of close the book on this. Because how this ends is with that card and then going into the Five of Swords and creativity. It's kind of like the situation is moving on, the situation is ended, but you didn't really win anything. And the creativity here is like, I feel like you found a creative way to like cinch it up. Like, because I feel like it just came out. I don't feel like the other person did anything. I don't feel like there was a situation that warranted it. I just feel like you found a moment that you were able to express to them how you felt about them, and thus permanently closing the book. You're not winning anything, but you're finishing the situation off. And I'm getting for them, they have the psychic protection next to them. Like, I feel like they're fine. I feel like this is just kind of water off a duck's back. But I'm getting you are getting closure through this. I don't know. I don't feel like it's. I feel like you're upset and you're telling them how you feel. It seems out of the blue, though. You might even think it's out of the blue too, because it doesn't seem like you're planning it. You're not thinking I'm gonna say this then or whatever. It's just like the emotions fill, and then you're just at that point, and they're there, and you just tell them, and it closes the chapter. I'm feeling that's how this ends, but that's fine. It doesn't seem like it. I'm getting the psychic protection for them. Like, I don't feel like it damages them in any sense, but it does close the book for you. It gives you that closure. All right, I think we got there. All right, so I'm going to wrap that up there. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.